What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Decide and Design. Today's episode is called Life is About Choices. And I say this in the intro, but I want to restate it. And it's this: our dreams are predicated by the decisions we make in our life. Where you are at right now in your life is the compound effect of the choices you've made up to this point. And that's what this show is about. That's what this podcast is all about. It's about it's about living a life that you choose. You choose to design the life that you want. But people get confused about the design part. Because it's like, how do we design a life? I believe we design a life with our daily habits and our daily choices. And obviously, we have to choose in advance, like what our values are and what kind of impact we want to have and what our passions are, where our strengths are. All that's important too. But after you have that foundation, the choices that you make every single day are what's going to get you there. And the problem is most people are just coasting. And I was stuck there for so many years of my life. And I'm really starting to realize now this has been a very tough month for me, and just a lot of mirrors, and I've been learning a ton. And something that just stays true is that life really is all about choices. It's all about your daily choices that you make. Something that this is going to get like a little bit hardcore, I think. Not hardcore, but like it might rub people. It's just not sexy. It's not a sexy answer, but you have to work your ass off in order to get what you want. And people they just don't want to do that part. They're impatient. That's really what it comes down to. People are very, very impatient. So there's a UFC fighter named Henry Cejudo, and he came up with this thing called the 4 S's. And my coaches actually just told me about this recently, or brought it to my attention. And it goes like this, and they're in order as well. So sacrifice, struggle, suffer, then success. Sacrifice, struggle, suffer, then success. Most people don't want to do the first 3. And the reason they don't want to do the first 3 is because it's painful, it takes a lot of consistency, and it's out of their comfort zone. And people are impatient. We want quick fixes like all the time. And I wanted to tell a story about a time in my life where I had to sacrifice a little bit. Because that's what I've kind of been doing lately. My time has become just limited with I'm choosing right now what rooms I want to be in and not be in. I'm choosing very carefully who I spend my time with. I'm choosing me in my future for once. So I was at a bachelor party recently, and one of my best friends is getting married. And it was like an all day, or sorry, an all weekend event. So like we were doing something on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was just like this huge thing. But it was local, so it was close to home. But on Saturdays I have a very, very busy day. Like I have 5 calls and book club and a team call and like just a bunch of stuff going on Saturdays, and every single thing that I do on Saturday, like I'm busy from probably like 8 in the morning until 3 or 4 p.m. It's like another work day for me, but every single thing I do on that day is priming me for my future. It's getting me it's helping me become a better speaker, a better podcaster. It's helping me learn about business. It's helping me face my demons and get rid of my trauma. Like everything I'm doing on Saturday is helping me grow. So that is something that is like very, very valuable to me. I had to tell my friend, basically it's this, I had to tell my friend, like, listen, dude, I love you and this is very important to me, this being here for you, but this other stuff that I have to do for my future is more important right now. Like I can't miss. I can't miss. That was really fucking hard. That was a really hard thing to do. And it was really hard to express my truth to him and tell him that like I can't be here with you right now because I have to put me and myself first and my future first. That's sacrifice. And maybe that's a little bit too like extreme for some people, but I know that that is the best thing that I can do for myself, and I refuse to not choose me. I refuse to do that because for so many years I was choosing everything else besides me. And all it did was hurt me, and it just led me into a bunch of walls. So I'm choosing in advance now, every single day, to choose me and my future. There's a book called The Art of Impossible, and it's by Kotler, and he says, given a decade, very little is impossible. And if you think about this, it's like a decade. Like, who's going to wait a decade? Who's going to just like get no return? Who's going to put in 100% effort and get no return for a decade? But people don't understand that that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be successful. Like, if you want to live the life that you truly, like your dream life, it might take you that long. It just might. And maybe it won't. Maybe it won't take that long, but you have to have that mindset. You have to be like this is it. Like I'm marking my flag, and I am going to do this thing, and I'm just going to go for it. Once you make that decision, what you choose to do every single day affects your future. And that's been a very, very hard mirror for me recently, but deciding in advance to choose me has helped. And I'm going to continue to do that. But I want to tell you guys, so like how do we make the right choices? Like, how do you get to a point where you can make the right decisions for your future? the first thing I'm going to tell you is that you have to find out what you want. You have to find out where you're going. You need a destination. If you don't have a destination, you're just going to lonely land. You don't know where you're going to end up. In order to do that, I mean, that's a hard thing to do. That's something you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Try new things. Figure out. I always like to ask this question. It's like if you got like $1 billion and like money didn't matter, you never had to work again, how would you still serve the world? Like, where would you be serving? Because like the other saying is like, if money didn't matter, what would you do? And I feel like a lot of people will say, I would just travel and hang out and like eat good food. And it's like we need at least some sort of mission, right? Like we need purpose, we need a mission, we need growth and contribution. That's very important. So I like to ask, if money didn't matter and you still had to serve the world in some way, what would you do? But anyways, once you find that out, start tracking what you do in a day. My mentor taught me peak performance tracking. Shout out to Alan Lazarus and Kevin Palmieri. They showed me peak performance tracking. It's basically just you basically just make a chart that you fill out every single day, and it's like a to-do list, but it's like the most important things you can do for yourself every single day in order to get the result you want in the future. And the compound effect of that, the daily choices that you make will put you in the place you want to be. So that would be the second thing that I would do. I would start to track every single thing that you're doing in a day. And it's going to expose you. It exposed me. Like, I realized how much time I was wasting in a day. The third thing you can do is choose based off of your values. And this has been a big one for me this year. I value me and my future. I value growth. I value personal development and self-help more than having fun. It wasn't always like that. It was not always like that. Like, it was actually the complete opposite before. But now I feel like I have a mission and a purpose, and I don't feel like I do. I do have a mission and a purpose. And now my values of growing and personal development, that is more important to me than having fun. And that's how I made that decision at the bachelor party. It was like, I have to choose this other thing. Like, I just have to. There's no other way. And the last thing, and probably the most important, is getting on a winning team. Get around, once you find out what you want and you find out what your core values are and your aspirations and your goals and where you want to be, find out people who are like you. Find out people who can fit into your circle. Start taking yourself out of rooms that you don't belong in. That's the hardest one, because you're going to outgrow people, and you're going to have to find rooms that support your dreams. And there's no way around that. It's a hard thing to overcome, but I've found that being around people who also want similar things as me and are also on like that mission of like bringing personal development to the world and just helping people, getting around people who are doing that every single day has helped me grow tremendously. Like, I've grown more in the last 6 months than I ever have in my entire life. That if you could take one thing away from this podcast, it would be that. And I can't emphasize that one enough. It's like, get around people who are going to support you in your dreams. The last thing I'm going to say about that is, like, a lot of times when we start like our growth journey, or we start to go after a certain goal or a dream, and it's bigger than usual, when we strive for more, we almost feel like an outcast, because let's just face it, most people don't have that ambition. And you almost feel like an outcast. You feel like a black sheep around people, around your family, around your friends. And the environment that I'm around now, if you don't have big dreams and goals, now you're the outcast. On the other, it's like it flipped. It's like, now the people I'm around, all of them have like bigger dreams than me. And it's like, oh, now I need bigger dreams. And it's like, the environment's the most important thing. The most important thing. At the end of the day, every single day you have a choice to make. And there's really two choices you can make. The first one, you have to decide where you're going. What do you want? What do you want out of life? Decide. The second one is, what are you doing every day to get there? That's designing it every single day. I wanted to end this by saying, for those of you who, mostly people who know me, but for those of you who have been reaching out and kind of just talking to me through my Instagram, I genuinely appreciate it, and I love connecting and talking. I actually want to do like more Zooms. So if anyone wants to like jump on a call and just mastermind with me and talk about our goals, whatever you guys want to talk about, as long as it's growth oriented, I'm down. So just send me a message and we can set something up. But I want to connect with more people. I want to start creating like a growth community. I want to start having accountability partners. I want to connect with everybody and just help people. So if any of you are looking to reach out, you can reach me at B_low22 on Instagram. That's LOWE, like the store, by the way. I don't know if I've ever... Yeah, I think I've been saying that at the end of my podcast. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for reaching out. Please continue to do that, and I will see you on the next one.